And good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Chris Raggi.
And I'm Cindy Hsu. We are coming on the air with some breaking news. A major twist in a case we've been following for decades. Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann has changed his plea.
Just moments ago, Heuermann pleading guilty to 7 counts of murder. He evaded arrest for more than 30 years, living a seemingly normal life in Massapequa Park, Long Island, commuting to Midtown, where he worked as an architect. Online search history and DNA evidence from a discarded pizza box led to his arrest back in July of 2023. Now, he was initially charged with the murders of 3 women, Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello, later charged with the murders of Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Sandra Costello, Jessica Taylor, and Valerie Mack.
And up until today, he's pleaded not guilty to all the charges against him. Today in court, Heuermann admitted to killing another woman, Karen Vergata. He will be sentenced on June 17th.
Now, the plea marks a significant shift in a case that's gripped Long Island and drawn national attention for over a decade.
Jennifer McLogan has covered this case for years, has the latest from court. Jennifer.
Good afternoon. This is huge, a case that has haunted Long Island since the bodies of the first so-called Gilgo 4 were discovered on Ocean Parkway back in 2010, wrapped in burlap in a shallow grave. We have some resolution. On the 4th floor of this criminal courthouse behind me, Rex Heuermann, the Massapequa Park architect living a double life, admitted to all 7 murders that he was charged in, plus an 8th that he was suspected of. This is saving victims' families from the trauma of listening to all this, and taxpayers from a long, protracted trial. Now, he entered court. He was no longer on crutches. He sounded matter of fact and even confident when questioned by the judge. He gave his name, he identified himself, he leaned over a little tiny bit. Yes, Your Honor, yes, Your Honor, I am Rex Heuermann, I am now 62 years old, etc. It was really chilling as the district attorney, very composed, battered the questions toward him. Did you do this? Did you do this? Yes, yes, guilty, guilty. All 7 people. Now, just to set the scene in the courtroom, it was standing room only. The courtroom was packed. There were 24 family members. You could hear a pin drop. It was very tense. We had 2 overflow courtrooms, court officers everywhere, overflow courtrooms filled with, yes, media, but also podcasters and interested public. The next situation right now, my colleague Carolyn Gussoff is up there gathering sound because Rex Heuermann's ex-wife, Asa Ellerup, who wanted to hear her husband claim he was guilty, she never believed it, will speak. She will read a statement. Her attorney will answer questions. The defense attorney for Rex Heuermann will answer questions. And then this afternoon, hundreds of reporters and photographers who are here will then travel westbound to Brentwood, Long Island, where the district attorney will hold a long press conference detailing everything, and we will be able to hear from the family members caught up in this tragedy. And obviously yesterday afternoon, we're aware that one of the family members' children, this is the son of Valerie Mack, filed a lawsuit against Asa Ellerup and her daughter, Victoria Heuermann, claiming they must have known about this, and because they have participated in documentaries in which they were paid, that they have ample funds now to answer this wrongful death lawsuit. Chris, Cindy?
Jennifer, having covered this case for so many years and seeing Rex Heuermann since he was apprehended, of course not plead guilty like he did today, to see this seismic shift in this case that has garnered such national attention for so many years, I guess if you could, were there audible gasps in the courtroom from the family members that were there? We talked about his ex-wife, wanting to hear it from his mouth that he was guilty, never really fully believing that he was responsible for this. Take me through some of those elements, if you would.
Audible gasps for sure, quiet sobbing, no outbursts that we heard. But this was the first time we heard Rex Heuermann's voice. And I mentioned before that he sounded matter-of-fact and confident, but he's missing teeth. And he never wanted to open his mouth at all. And you could hear him sort of lisping, yes, yes, Your Honor, you would hear as he came through. No longer this kind of arrogant big bully. He looked more, you know, like a timid has-been. Why did he do it? Now that's the big question. Hopefully in the next few hours we'll get more of those answers. But was it to spare his wife and daughter and stepson? We don't know. Is it that he didn't want all of those shameful, sadistic details to come out from his manifesto that he'd written? They were going to go through those hook, line, and sinker and show what a brutal, sadistic killer he was? Or was he just wanting to get out of solitary confinement and thinking that maybe prison will be best for him? Of course, the judge at the end said sentencing will be laid out at a future date, and he will be receiving life in prison with no possibility of parole.
Hey, Jennifer, you and Carolyn have been covering this case for so long. I'm just wondering, when you heard that he was going to plead guilty, what was your reaction?
It was just stunning because originally when we were privy to that shocking day of his arrest, where no one expected that at all, he kept maintaining through his attorneys, no, he wanted to go to trial. And we kind of thought that he loved the attention, and why wouldn't he want to go through with it? So it was a little curious. We thought maybe it was health reasons or, as we said, privacy reasons. We don't know, but it was definitely a big surprise when he decided not to go through, because the trial was to begin in September. They had the dates all set. All of the discovery had been gone through. And, you know, as we said before, it's saving taxpayers from a huge protracted trial, and obviously his family, all of those, his family, and then all of those victims' families. And we know that there were 10 bodies that were discovered, but 8 of those have been linked to him, and we still have 2 of those Gilgo Beach cold cases that are still out there in the wind, as they say.
All right, Jennifer, stay with us. We're going to again come back to you and Carolyn Gussoff, who's there on site with you in just a couple of moments. We just want to show this real quickly from the courtroom, some images of Rex Heuermann. This from moments ago. As you can see, Jennifer describing the scene, missing some teeth, but audibly hearing from him the first time as he pleaded guilty to all 7 counts that were levied against him with an audible lisp due to missing his teeth. Again, this is just a case that has been such a huge question mark for so many families, for so many law enforcement officials, for so many years now. Finally hearing from the guilty party himself, guilty to these 7 murders and admitting to an 8th. And we will, of course, have more on that coming up as well.
And we saw the transcript from what was going on, from the questions and how Rex Heuermann answered, and to go through each person.
His MO for each of these.
And also, you know, how he did it. And he said strangulation for many of those cases. As
you can see, we've got 2 experts with us to break down this case even further. Rodney Harrison, the former commissioner from Suffolk County, who has a very big role to discuss in this. We thank you for being here. And for legal analysis, we're joined by trial attorney Rich Schoenstein. Thank you for being here. Rodney, let me ask you this. We were talking about this before. When you became commissioner in Suffolk County, you said it was job 1 to bring this case back to the forefront and get some answers for these families. And now this comes to fruition right now. Let me ask you what you're feeling, knowing that this man has now pleaded guilty to these murders.
Yeah, so it is a little bit of a emotional satisfaction, a bittersweet moment. You know, one of the difficulties in a situation like this is you don't get to bring the family members that have lost a loved one to the individual that was killed, and that's where the difficulty comes in. But being able to bring some type of comfort, knowing that this case is behind him, knowing that he will never see the day of light again, he'll be behind bars for the rest of his life. There's a level of gratification. Yeah. It's good to see that the creation of the task force was able to accomplish this goal and bring an individual to justice. And what do you think the break in the case was? Because we think the first disappearance happened in 1993. Yeah. We don't have a person of interest until you came on board and we had a task force. What was the break? You know, there was an investigator that was assigned to the state police that really did a phenomenal job. You know, she actually went through the case files, I identified one of the roommates of one of the victims, Amber Costello, and did a little bit more of an engagement. Once we were able to learn that one of the clients was an individual that drove a green Avalanche. They had access to a database that Suffolk County did not have, and they were able to put the pieces of the puzzle together and take a look at, are there anybody that resides in either Massapequa or Central Manhattan that has a green Avalanche? And she was able to attach it to Rex Heuermann, and that was the case. That was the part of the case that really got us going forward with who Rex Heuermann was.
So when you get that information and you say to yourself, and you do the background and you look at this man, he's an architect in Manhattan. I mean, how do you draw the two? And what was it like that day when you were able to finally narrow it down due to the DNA and say, this is our guy, and that day when you decided to go and get him?
So just take a look at prior serial cases. Serial killers come in all shapes and sizes. There's no actual way of taking a look at somebody and saying, hey, yeah, that person's a serial killer. So that's one thing we got to take in consideration here. Regarding the process of getting to a point, to getting to an indictment, my partnership with Ray Turney, the district attorney out there, putting the pieces of the puzzle together, everything from subpoenas to getting DNA matches, reaching out to the lab to make sure that everything was in place to go through a judicial process to put Rex Heuermann in the corner, allowed us an opportunity to say today, checkmate.
You know, Rich, I want to switch to you. So we now know sentencing is going to be in June, many life sentences. Where do we go from here? And do you think any other civil cases are going to come forward, like, you know, Valerie Mack's son trying to go after the wife and the daughter?
Well, let me take those questions in order. So, to cut to the chase, he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail. There's no question about that. He's going to have multiple life sentences without opportunity of parole, and probably additional sentences of 25 years to life. And they're going to run consecutively, not concurrently. He is never getting out of jail. So there will be sentencing proceedings. There may be an opportunity to hear from the families of the victims, which we do in that process, but it's not going to matter much. He is in jail for the rest of his life. There will be civil litigation. There is civil litigation. There was a suit filed the other day on behalf of one of the victims. They're going to try to get at, I don't know if he has any assets, but there's some speculation that his ex-wife may have some kind of rights deal and may have some assets coming to her. So they're going to try to bring her into this proceeding. And usually when the criminal proceedings come to a conclusion, that's the time for civil proceedings to go forward.
There was some talk reportedly of some six-figure funds for both the mother and the daughter due to a documentary that they participated in. Let me talk about the eighth woman here that he is admitted to, not charged with 7 counts of murder, but that eighth, we'll still have to wait on that because he hasn't been charged with that murder yet, correct?
Right. I don't think he can technically plead guilty to something that hasn't been charged, but he did admit it in open court under questioning today. And I don't know procedurally if they're going to go ahead and file that charge and convert it to a guilty plea or not. But he has conceded that he murdered these 8 women.